The team's name is Soterian Chain, with the title Improvement of the Maritime Safety System by Using Blockchain Tech. Okay, let's give the team a big hand.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, we, Soterian Chain, I would like to presentation about the improvement of the maritime security by using blockchain tech. It is for sure that the brain idea behind Bitcoin is derived from the blockchain technology. It is an increasing vital factor in various areas, including maritime industry. For those reasons, we decided to combine the blockchain technology into maritime issues, especially in cybersecurity and safety areas for both manned and unmanned ships. We will present you about these matters in more detail. These are contents we are going to cover in this presentation. For the past few years, the cyber risk in security areas has become a critical issue in maritime industry. Moreover, recent research has predicted a reinforced cybersecurity system is destined to become an important component in mass, just like it is now for the manned ships. On July 2017, it is found that the most general software used in ships are vulnerable in the risk of being hacked. This problem occurred by following reasons. The system stores usernames and passwords in easily hackable format code, and also it has built-in a backdoor that can make data can be exposed easily to the hacker. Furthermore, there are reports of hacker pirates snooping the shipping schedule and of certain goods to find the valuable vessel to hijack. And the GPS spoofing case has been a big issue in the maritime industry. In June 2013, a research team from University of Texas was able to spoof an $80 million private yacht by using easy-made spoofing device. The hackers made the GPS components computing incorrect position and convinced the users that they are in right track without triggering any alarms. Furthermore, it is found that this experiment is also applicable to our semi-autonomous vehicles. In addition, on January 2016, Ariane forces captured 2 Navy patrol boats and 10 sailors in the Iranian waters. In this case, the signal was tricked into believing it was at U.S. home base in Afghanistan. Not just in 6 years ago, a fatal risk in cybersecurity of a manned vessel caused 1 life loss and 2 injuries in South Korea. This tragedy was caused by signal jamming attack. The hackers sensed the stronger signal than existing ones, making the original signals inoperative, which cut off the unmanned vessel's wireless communication and the control function to the ground stations. And this data graph shows the significant increment of terror attacks in the 45 past years. Within just 3 years, from 2011 to 2014, the terror attacks have increased more than 4 times to the last 3 decades. For sure, we need to be aware the various technologies that are being developed can be used for terrorism. One example to came our mind is zombie ship. Similar to the yacht case, imagine, what if the hacker gains the access to the control the ships wirelessly, causing the massive explosion by heading to the LNG ships, and also it can make it can make yeah, it can make it can make massive massive damages like crashing to any ports or docks. For those significant regions, we have to combine the blockchain technology in the manned and unmanned ships. And next presenter will be talk about mass and our proposal idea to IMO. The team members, Danny. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Tongyu, for the presentation. All right. The development of the artificial intelligence has derived the maritime industry to revolve unmanned ship, known as the MAS or the Maritime Autonomous Surface Ship. In any kind of environment, removing the possibility of human endangerment is always a major plus. And knowing this promising new technology, a safer security system has to be developed to prevent any kind of cyber risk. Looking at this basic networking architecture of the MAS, the system works through we have the command and control protocol from the ground control system to the MAS, maritime status report protocol from the MAS to the ground, and also the sense and avoid information protocol among MASs, which are built by three main important parts of the MAS. The primary SendPC links, secondary SendPC links, and the data links. And due to the fact that these links are the only access for hackers to get inside the system, we believe that a safe security system has to be developed to in these SendPC links. And these are some of the applications of the MAS. It's more cost-effective and more useful than the ordinary vessels to carry out surface and data collecting. And it's very fast, stable, also very accurate for its military defense system. And it's also capable to track and monitor any harmful actions at both day and night. However, the MAS use wireless communication that provides opportunity for hackers to capture sensitive and highly confidential military information. And these related informations can also be easily manipulated by the hackers by replacing the original information. And the software components of MAS can be easily crashed by planting trojans, viruses, or even harmful malware into the program. So the IMO's mission is to promote safe, secure, environmentally sound, efficient, and sustainable shipping through cooperation. And if you look at the second part of the IMO strategic direction, it states about the integration for new technologies into the regulatory framework. And the 12th and 13th part of this IMO strategic direction specifically tells us about the automation and remote operations. We consider this as the MAS, and also the cyber security. So, knowing the technology of the blockchain, it can also be applied in maritime industry with only two keywords: alert and qualify. So, alerting cycle system is basically a method operated by the interaction of the ship and satellite, which can be applied by these elements. So first, any unauthorized access will be detected, and if there's no kind of threat, the satellite will respond by resending back the signals, making sure that the ships are in the safe condition. However, for example, if there is such kind of threat detection, the exposed path of the access system will be immediately blocked and isolated from the blockchain servers. Also, damages are going to be transmitted directly to the ground control base to prevent any kind of secondary attacks. And after analyzing the damages, the system will reconnect the blocked part to the whole network. The second idea for our proposal is the qualification confirming protocol. So first, any user will input their particular code to access the system. And the main server in the satellites verifies whether that whether that request is suitable to access the system. And for example, if it doesn't have any threat and if the codes match with the protocol, it will gain an access. However, if it does not match with the protocol, it will be denied directly by the blockchain servers. And next, we're going to talk about the IMO's regulation toward our system by Hyun-soo.
Thank you, Danny. The backbone of our proposed idea is the blockchain mechanism, which can be explained by the followings. 1. Smart contract. Data links act as smart contracts, which contain the data records, allowing the performance of credible transactions without third parties. 2. Time synchronization protocol. Group of ships in specific sectors share their record data in real time by using satellite as nexus. 3. Safely sealed information. The private information such as customers' data, shipped cargo is secured in the blockchain database. The access can only be authorized by implementing the biological code pattern, which is owned by the person who is in charge of the ship. 4. Tamper-proof system. Basically, the blockchain technology never allows any users to change both the original data and historical records at all. So from now on, let's take a look at how our proposed ideas are following the same path with the IMO regulations. On 5th July 2017, IMO Facilitation Committee published guidelines on maritime cyber risk management by following reasons: raise awareness on cyber risk threats and vulnerabilities, and to provide safeguard shipping from current and emerging cyber threats. As shown at the alerting cycle system, we analyzed and arranged 5 key elements from the guideline into our proposed idea. Identify and detect. Secure the cybersecurity of ship operations by detecting the unauthorized access to control systems and all possible types of hacking attempts. Protect and respond. When unauthorized access to the system is detected, the exposed path will be immediately blocked and isolated, and damages are transmitted to the ground control base to prevent secondary damage. Recover. After analyzing and resetting the intrusion path, engineers will be able to reconnect separated parts back to the system. The very recent MSC, which was for its 99th session, established a correspondence group on Mars to test the framework of the regulatory scoping exercise agreed at the session and report back to its next session, MSC 100. The list of instruments to be covered in the MSC scoping exercise for Mars includes those covering safety, like SOLAS. Importance of remaining flexible and accommodate new technologies, keep reminding the role of human elements, and maintaining safe navigation will reduce maritime casualties and incidents. For those reasons, we propose the reinforced cybersecurity system not only for Mars, but also for the manned ships. Furthermore, we believe that combining blockchain technology into ordinary maritime system can result potential and emerging the revolutionary development in maritime industry. Since the MSC 98 made their wide application of MOS on its agenda, MSC 99 started their work to consider various aspects of MOS in safety, security, and environmental areas. And now, MSC 100 committee will be held from 3rd to 7th December 2018, and we would like to propose a further discussion of the improved maritime cybersecurity system, just like a learning cycle system and qualification confirming, not only for us, but also for the manship simultaneously. According to the guidelines of MSC Cyber Risk Management, the goal is to support safe and secure shipping, which is operationally resilient to cyber risks. And in conclusion, ex-CEO of Apple and Innovative Enterprises, Steve Jobs, said innovation is the only way to win. Without any doubt, we believe it's time to be more innovative than ever. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Team Soterian Chain, for your nice presentation. Okay, the head of journal, judge panel, Professor Mr. Buck, will preside over the Q&A session, please.
Thank you for your excellent presentation, Soterian Chain. And so now we have our questions. Who is the first? Okay. Sivion first, Masi, the Seagulls. Okay, Sivion first, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for your presentation. The blockchain technology, which is utilized in Bitcoin and Ethereum, is public technology. And as I infer from your presentation, the technology you are trying to adopt is private or consortium blockchain. Is there any problem with accessibility to information, and that private blockchain limits the engagement?
Thank you for your question, but can we excuse us to retell us the question in short paragraph?
Is there any problem with accessibility to information, to like GPS or other smart contracts? In that private blockchain limits the engagement of parties?
So thank you for your question, and just like as we mentioned before, the private information such as shipped cargo, GPS, and customers' data will be secured in blockchain data because they are all connected together, just like a blockchain line, and the access can only be authorized by the person by implementing his biological code patterns and the ordinary code patterns, just like passwords too. And we believe that if you seal that blockchain information by one layer, and we can protect that information as well.
And I would like to add the data, some of the additional information from Hyunsu, and those of personal data is not just simply like password, your like private information like your ID, password, or even your date of birth, but it can also be like your biological data such as your DNA or your DNA or face recognition or even your voice recognition. So I think that the safetiness to access this technology is guaranteed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Masi, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Tim Masi. We agree that the blockchain will be commercialized, but currently, according to ISPS, each port states are using different level of the security. So we wonder that where the country have the high level of the security will accept the unified chain.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question in a short paragraph?
Okay, we wonder that the country will have the high level of the countries will accept the unified chain.
Thank you for your question, but is it for sure that you're asking us to how can we set the high level of security by using united blocks?
Yes.
So basically, we are not trying to use the high level of security, but now we are trying to explain the idea of prevent the hackings and attempts like that. Just like we mentioned before, alerting cycle system and qualification confirming, our proposed idea cannot prevent the hacking attempts 100%, but we believe that our proposed idea can do the better ways to prevent maybe you can say 98% or 99% of the hacking attempts in real time.
Thank you, Hyun-soo, and I would like to add some of additional information. So basically, this system is not like a new system. It's kind of like an improved security system. So, for example, for the IMO, if our proposed idea is going to be applied real time in the maritime area, it's going to be just a new type of integration of the safer maritime system. So yeah, hope it answers your question, and thank you.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Okay, the next is Seagulls. You have the floor.
Thank you for your presentation. It was really impressive. By the way, we team seekers are not familiar with the term CMPC. So could you please explain about it more details?
You mean the basic networking of the mass?
Yes,
All right. So like I've mentioned before, the basic networking architecture of the mass is actually provided by three important phases or stages, which is the command and control protocol from the ground control system to the mast. And we also have the maritime status report protocol from the mast to the ground terminal station, and also the sense and avoid information protocol for among masses. And for example, if we're going to implement these systems of this qualification confirming protocol, we can apply it in the command and control protocol, and also for the maritime status report protocol, because it's not only one-way communication, it's a two-way path communication. So you have to get an access, so you put your particular code, and like I've mentioned before, the code can be biological code as well. And for after the qualification confirming protocol, maybe we can can use the alerting cycle system to prevent any hackers. So it will serve the system a new and improved or even integrate tamper-proof system of the maritime cybersecurity. Hope this answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The Soterian Chain. Now we are. You have the floor. So briefly, your question.
Add to the previous member, I have one more question. By the way, what role IMO should do relating to your suggestion that cybersecurity should be improved by using blockchain technology?
Thank you for your question. And just like I mentioned at my presentation, we would like IMO to take the serious discussion of using the new technologies of blockchain technologies in not only from us and for the main ships too. So the IMO's 100th MSC will be held from 3rd to 7th December 2018, and we would like to IMO come out for consideration of those new technologies in strategic direction to and sort of the path. Thank you.
Thank you for answering.
Okay, thank you. And now is one more question, the judge panel. Could you, Dr. Ba, please?
Thank you for the proposal. As far as this panel knows, the blockchain is more appropriate for transactions management or transactions tracking instead of networking. So is there any specific reason for you, your team, to propose blockchain technologies for networking security perspective instead of transactions?
So thank you for your question. And at the very first of our presentation, we found out that present maritime software, ship operating software is vulnerable in hacking because they have the backdoor and a lot of other problems like EQL injections. So we thought, how about we block all the ships or satellites to block them all together, and we can know directly whether which ship is hacked by which path, and maybe we can think to prevent that kind of hacking attempts. So we decided to implement the blockchain technologies into the maritime cybersecurity systems. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Could you one more questions to the Mr. the judge panel? One of them. Your question.
Thank you, Chair. I understand your suggestion is very related to the SD5, the Enhanced Global Facilitation and Security of International Trade. So we may recall that we have 7 performance indicators under this SD5. So I wonder, your suggestion is, I wonder which performance indicators will be achieved by proposing the introducing of blockchain into the international trade.
First of all, thank you for your questions, but I'm afraid that we thought using the blockchain technology is fit to the SD2, the consideration of the new technologies. So can we go back for the SD2 part? I would like to apologize that we couldn't really think about implementing our proposed ideas into SD5 sections. So explaining our proposed idea in SD2 direction.
So basically, we only think that this new improved technology can be implemented with the the second part of the IMO strategic direction, which is the SD2, because by integrating new technologies and advanced technologies in regulatory framework, of course, it can protect the ship's software components. So we're not really aware about other SDs. So we decided to just use the second strategic directions as our reference. Thank you.
Thank you. Good clarification.
Okay, thank you to teams. Soterian Chain, please return to your seat. Thank you very much.